The incompetent employees. This principle was conceived by Lawrence J. Peter as part of a complete science of organizations that he called hierarchiology. This seeks to provide concrete applications and confronts his model with the reality of the organizations that he observed. Of course, he notes exceptions to the principle. For example, the most competent are not always promoted. He highlights several cases where incompetent employees are promoted and explains why. Powerful sublimation or pseudo-development. This strategy, which promotes an incompetent employee to an upper level, mainly serves to maintain the hope of all others who believe they may also be promoted one day. This is dangerous because it is just an illusion for people who are not part of the hierarchy. Lateral arabesque. This promotes an incompetent employee to a new, useless position with a grander title to limit the damage he may cause in his current position. Peter reversal. In this case, the promotion of an incompetent employee is due to their compliance with standards imposed by the hierarchy rather than their efficiency. The end effect and means are reversed, since the standards exist to increase productivity and give as much value to compliance of standards as to productivity. Hierarchical defoliation. To avoid workers perceiving the absurdity of the system and deciding not to comply, the company favors the promotion of an incompetent employee. Signs of the last position. According to Peter, the signs of incompetence, or the signs of hiding incompetence from others and oneself, are easy to detect. These are called signs of the last position. However, they give the illusion of professional fulfillment. Classophilia, from the Greek word klassis, meaning category or class. This is an unnecessary obsession with classification to give, themselves, the illusion that they are doing important work. Gigantism tabula, refers to the incompetent employee who wants the biggest office. Papyromania, from the Greek word papyros, paper, and the Latin word mania, madness or obsession. This is a sign of an incompetent employee who piles up paperwork, hence the apparent disorder, on his desk to give the impression that he is extremely busy. Papyrophobia, from the Greek words papyros, paper, and phobos, phobia, is a sign of an incompetent employee who cannot tolerate any paper in their workspace. If the office is organized, colleagues, superiors, and perhaps even the employee himself, will believe that work is being done efficiently. Phonophilia, from the Greek words phone, voice, and philos, friend. This is a sign of incompetence which involves blaming a lack of contact with colleagues and subordinates and installing multiple phones and tape recorders in the office. Since this idea first appeared in 1969, this sign should probably be rephrased based on current technologies. Rigor cardis, of Latin origin, this indicates an obsessive interest in graphics, diagrams and charts that give the illusion of control over situations. Initial siglomania, from the Latin word sigla, meaning markings or abbreviations, and mania, meaning madness or obsession. This is a sign where the incompetent employee will speak using incomprehensible initials and acronyms with non-initiated staff, to give the impression of professionalism. He will complicate things as he takes pleasure in the importance this gives him. Structurophilia, from the Latin word structure, arrangement, construction, and the Greek philos, friend. This involves enjoying work in a certain structure. The incompetent employee that shows evidence of this sign will be obsessed with the order and maintenance of the building where he works, to the detriment of enjoying the work itself. Flutter syndrome, the incompetent employee rarely makes decisions and allows them to wait a long time before being processed. Abnormal tabula, from the Latin word tabula, plate or table. This is a sign of incompetence where the employee uses unusual and strange office equipment. However, Peter qualifies his statements by explaining that, fortunately for the functioning of our political, social and economic models, all positions at the top of the hierarchy are not necessarily occupied by incompetent employees. In fact, in this clarification of the principle, he highlights the fact that the hierarchical structure of an organization is often too small for all of the competent people, although this is not too big a fault, as otherwise they would suffer from hierarchical defoliation, to reach their potential. Nonetheless, Note that the competent superiors are often headhunted by larger organizations where they are once again able to move up until they too reach their level of incompetence.